Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. Today I'm going to start work on the Trabant project. I will start with the braking system on this car. It is actually kind of working, but it's pretty clear to me that the liner on the brake shoes has fallen off on some of the wheels. We actually found out that it already happened on the right rear wheel, I think it was. But I think it's the same problem on one of the front ones. So they jam up when I drive. Either way, they need to work. So today I'm going to remove everything in the braking system pretty much and rebuild all the parts. Hopefully it's possible to do and then put it back on. But yeah, let's get to work. Brilliant. Because we're going to remove the brake drum, I need to remove the nut holding on the drive shaft and clamping everything together. And to do that, I will have to open up this locking piece of metal. Well, let's see if we can break it loose with this one. No problemo. It was pretty easy actually. So now in theory, we should be able to pull the tire off together with the rim and the brake drum. But maybe we need to give it a tap to just make it go in a little bit, the drive shaft. So I'm gonna put on the nut again to not destroy the thread. There we go, it's off. Like a moped magneto, it seems to have a slot that locks it in place, and I think that's the reason why it gets this stuck. And the entire wheel and drum should come off. There we go. Remember, there's big possibilities of asbestos in braking systems like this. So take care. There's absolutely no liners on this. It's completely worn down. It's about time. To neutralize all the dust that is unhealthy, even if it's not asbestos, it's not healthy, I'm going to wet everything down to make sure that it doesn't fly around too much, at least, like that. And then it's just a matter of removing everything in this braking system. Let me just take you a bit closer. As you can see, there is no material left on these at all. I have actually never ever seen a brake shoe being this worn down without just dropping the liner. I wonder if someone maybe has went in there and taken out the liner pieces, because this is kind of impressive actually. But let's take it apart. And if I can give a tip about working on brakes, it is to always take some pictures of the stuff before you take it all apart. It's guaranteed that I will forget how it all fits together. And then these pictures will be so good to have. Like that. Like that. Whoop. So there we go. Next up, let's take the bolts out of these to remove them. And it feels like it's only maybe 2 nuts. Like that. Came loose pretty easy. I really like watching shows like Mighty Car Mods, and it's really a lot of fun, and they are really good mechanics, even though I don't think they are, but they are good, I mean. But one thing they don't tackle a lot is stuff like this, and I'm a bit envious about that from time to time. because on rusty cars like this, you use a lot of time on just removing one single bolt from time to time. Yeah, I seem to have gotten it loose, and I'm just waiting for it to come all the way loose or snap because it's tight. But I think we'll do. And yep, we got it. No problemos. Like that. We should be able to now remove everything like this. And this, I hope to be able to rebuild. The fact that the brake line goes to the bottom one and then to the top one makes sense when you think about the bleeding procedure, because that will make it a lot easier to bleed it, of course. I really hope to be able to rebuild these. That would be nice. The first problem has arrived because I was expecting that the braking system was called the Simplex, I think. And it doesn't seem to be that system. So the rebuild kit that I have bought to rebuild these will not fit at all because they are made for a single braking cylinder in the middle, like ordinary braking drum systems. This means that I have ordered the wrong system. And of course that's a shame, because now I have some parts that I cannot use. It's not really an option to send them back because of shipping cost. But the positive thing is that I did not just buy new cylinders because they were really expensive. That was one thing. They would not fit unless I made a lot of changes to the system, like the anchor plate and all that. So I only bought the rebuild kit that was very cheap. The positive thing about all this, which is also a bit of a negative thing, considering which way you look at this, is that the real braking system that I need for this car is really cheap, because it seems to be the Trabant 601 braking system that is on this car, and I think the engine as well is from this 601. It's a pretty common upgrade, I think, but this means that yes, I could go ahead and order the rebuild kit for the braking system that I have, but actually an entire system with all 4 cylinders for the front and 2 for the rear is extremely cheap. So I'm just going to buy that. Yes, I know I said I wanted to rebuild it, but there's a lot of other stuff that I can rebuild on this car, so that is going to be fine. If I chose to rebuild it, it would cost almost the same as just buying the new parts. So that is what I'm going to do. In this video, I will just continue to take everything apart, and then I'm not going to put anything back on the car, on the braking system on this video, but we will get everything off. I have removed all braking parts from the wheels, at least from the wheel sides. The cylinder and the pads and the springs and all that. I have left in place the handbrake cable though, because it seems to be in okay condition, so I'm going to keep that. And I haven't removed all the brake lines yet, but all 4 wheels is now brake loose and wheel loose and everything. And yeah, I'm going to have to order those parts and wait on the next step on that. But what I'm gonna do in this video before I will end it is to remove the Einkretsbremse, something. Yeah, I don't speak German. This is the brake master cylinder, and as you can maybe see, it's a one circuit one. That means that you on normal modern brake cylinders you will have a piston and a chamber with a spring in between, and then another piston. So when you compress the pedal, you actually compress 2 individual chambers, which makes pressure in 2 circuits. That means if one circuit breaks, a brake line snaps or something like that, you will still be braking with the other system or the other chamber. On a 1 circuit system, that does not happen. You only have 1 circuit. So if a brake line breaks on this system, you will either have to pump the brake really quickly or use the emergency brake, aka the handbrake. I'm going to keep this system. You could upgrade it to a 2-circuit, but I'm going to keep this system. And then I'm of course going to make sure that the handbrake is in working condition, because if something happens to the braking system, I will not have a second chance that I normally have on other cars. I'm going to remove this now. So here we go. One brake cylinder off the car. This I really hope to be able to rebuild. I bought the kit for it. I think it should be possible, at least. There we go. So that seems to actually take out the entire assembly. Maybe it's actually attached to the end. I can feel the plunger turning together with this. Could just be fused together. Ah, yes. All right. I wonder if I can then push this one all the way out. Yep. Oh, the rubber flinged off. But everything looks nice. I'm just going to clean everything up and then we're going to reassemble it. There we go. I have Justin Bieber back to help me. And now we should be able to just rebuild the system. This was brake fluid because I'm using brake fluid to lubricate stuff up. This is the rebuild kit for the Brake Master. As you can see, it's very simple. And we're just gonna take the parts one by one and remove the old one. And fit it and fit a new one over that ridge. I'm gonna dump it into the brake fluid just to let it soak for a bit. Like that. And fit a new one. The last one is just put on top of the plunger on the other side when we reassemble. So let's start doing that. The first thing is to put the plunger back in. And I'm gonna lubricate the inside bore with the braking fluid. And then push it in. Then that rubber goes in. Then the spring goes in and pushes on that rubber. And then this plunger on this side is fitted onto the spring like that. And fit on top of the plunger like this. And then we can refit the reservoir like that. So there we go. The Brake Master is now rebuilt. Of course, I will have to make sure that it's completely leak-free and able to hold pressure when I put everything back together. You never know when you rebuild stuff. Well, maybe I never know when I rebuild stuff is maybe a better thing to say. But I think this will be fine. And yeah, that's that done. I can go no further on the braking system of the Trabant now because I will have to order new parts and wait for them to arrive. It's a shame that I bought some wrong ones, especially I just found out that the braking shoes is of course also the wrong one, so now I have some of them as well. Maybe I can sell them, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna start work on something else on this car and wait for all the other braking parts to arrive and then continue on those. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.